All right. So this is set here. Master of the Dark Arts, Master of the Dark Arts, Demonologist, Spiritualist. Um, yeah. So one last thing for today that I'm gonna leave you on. Um, you need to be aware. This is gonna be weird because it's a lot of power, but at the same time, it's kind of like it barely makes any sense. Give me a second here. Yeah. So sorry about that. Okay. So how do I express this? So in the practice of religion, if you follow a certain deity and you want to make that as whichever deity it is, you want to make that deity stronger in your life. Um, of course, I would suggest Lucifer, um, because he's a great father. But that's what I want to talk about: family. So, in the world of magic, everything is bunched up together, and I know it's a layman's term here, but it is. It really is. There is no in the ethereal realm. Oh, by the way, look at my watch. Look at my brand new watch. It's a Lee Cooper. It's a fantastic watch. Remarkable. Beautiful. Like it? So anyways, 145. Um so the um in the well, I'm going to talk for myself here, but you can apply it to anything that you're currently practicing, especially if you have a deity, um, a patron or a deity or something. So this here is, I consider it a secret. I consider it as a gnosis. Um, I feel like you need to be initiated in before understanding that, and I don't mean initiated in a literal sense. I mean like actually practicing some form of spiritual culture before even being aware of this said notion. So, family. Okay, so Lilith is my wife, but she's also my mother, and she's also my sister, and she's also my daughter. So, yeah, that's kind of complicated. So, well, I overly complicated it there because let's look at Lucifer, right? That's a little bit simpler. He's the father, but he's also the son. Ha, pun intended. He's the father, but he's also the child. He's the son. Um, this is not disrespect. This is not any form. This is not a form of disrespect at all. It's something that you will have to grow into, because at the end of the day, consciousness rules over all. This is why it's important to take care of your mind. This is the reason why psychology is important. Not psychology as an institution, but psychology as your own personal psychos, your personas and psychos and psychopathic tendencies. And I don't mean psychopathic by, because psychopath is something that you do repetitively. It's a pattern that you have in your persona that you repeat repetitively. That's why we call it. It's a mental pattern that you repeat over and over again. That's called the psychopath. Well, I mean it in that term, in that definition. So you have to understand that consciousness rules over all. And what that means is your consciousness, I wouldn't say that your consciousness per se gave birth to the gods, but you are consciousness at the same time. So as much as Lucifer is the Father and the Son, you are also the Father and the Son. Because consciousness is what begat life. Life was unalive until it realized that it was alive. Let me repeat that again. Life was unalive until itself realized that it was alive. So consciousness is the father of all things, is the father of God even. So for all you people that don't have a lot of confidence in yourself, for all you people that don't believe in yourself that much, well, let me tell you, you are the father of existence. You are the mother of existence. Yes, sir. So this is where it gets kind of weird. Because if you do rituals, you have to show veneration. But is all those things just energy dampeners? Yes and no. The reason why it's not necessarily energy dampener is because you need to practice. So you need a master. You need a teacher. You need a teacher, or you need a master. You need a guru, whatever. But you need something to show you the ropes. So at first, you will have to show dedication and veneration. But at some point in time, you're gonna outgrow that position. You are going to become the father. But at the same time, it is kind of an energy dampener because they could have told us a long time ago instead of us doing all this shit. But so yeah, in some sense, it still is an energy dampener. That's why I don't have any grimoires. Like, I have I bought some, but I had some. I always lose them for some reason. I lost 2 grimoires that I wrote myself in my life. And I'm still buying magic books till this day. So because you need to know. You need to know. And you can't, if you don't check check any books or anything or any information, you're not gonna know. So and I like spells. I like casting spells too. So when I cast spells, I do have the intent of veneration because I respect the position of the deity. But it can at the level that I'm at, it could prove harmful to my spell if I put too much intent in the veneration area, because what they want to hear is you ordering them to do something. They don't want to hear you act like a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they don't want you to, you know, that's the last thing. So it could cause the spell not to function properly. So you might have come across this once or twice in your life, and you would have like, oh, what the hell was that about? But if we enter the world of physics, this makes perfectly good sense. Because like I said before, you are consciousness, and they come from consciousness. They are born out of consciousness. You have a smaller portion of consciousness, but the fact that you are alive, the fact that you have your own realm of existence, which is called Earth, your own plane of existence, which is called Earth, makes them alive too. So you become a lot more than a part of consciousness. You become a conduit for consciousness. So it might not make sense the first time you hear it, but scientifically speaking, and in the world of physics, it makes all the sense in the world. And it should make all the sense in the world after you're done listening to this video too. Of course, you might not be at that level yet, but you will be soon enough. And to be quite honest, there's no actual level where you should feel like that. Of course, it all depends. If you're a hardcore person and you want to start it off like that, I wouldn't suggest it. It's probably going to backfire on you. But, you know, if you really want to try just to see, you know, you can, you know, but I would not suggest doing so. I would definitely not suggest doing so, you know, but if you keep practicing, you will achieve a certain level where you become the father. So it's needless to say that I have become the father. You know, I'm no longer the son, you know, in the spiritual sector anyway. And it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept. It's complicated too, you know, because, you know, to me Lucifer is the exalted one. You know, he's you know, but at the same time, he's my son. So that's the reason why I feel like there are some representation of God in Lucifer as a child, because he's your child. He's the child of consciousness. He doesn't look like it, he doesn't act like it, but he still is. He's part of your family, and you're part of his. And this is a good thing to build off of, because then you start building a relationship that's way deeper than just, you know, spell work. Because now they're always with you. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, they're always with you. So you barely even need to do spells. Barely. All you have to do is tell them to do something, I'll do it. So that's enough. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.